So one Saturday night, Tails binge-watched a whole shitload of cartoons, and then that very same night, he had a dream where he was suddenly chasing the villains of said cartoon all across, West Side Island, or, I don't know what island that Sonic 2 took place in, but, yeah. Tails gets to have his own spin-off for a change.
One of 2 spin-offs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, for the Sega Game Gear system, the first of which was only in Japan for a short while. This was Tails' Sky Patrol.
Huh. Alright then.
So, Tails' Sky Patrol is, well, pretty true to its name. You're going to be doing a lot of flying in this one. In fact, that's really all you're going to be doing, is flying. Lots and lots of flying. I hope you took your flying test.
Training area ready.
Well, off we go.
If you haven't, well, thankfully this game is courteous enough to give us a training course in Emerald Hill Zone.
You know, James, I gotta ask, like, in the standard games, Tails can't really fly for very long without tiring out. How are we gonna make an entire game of nothing but flying work out?
Alright, well, first and foremost, see that meter up there with the F on it?
Mm-hmm.
That's your flight meter. When that runs out, Tails is pretty much tuckered out and starts plummeting down to the ground. And in this game, floor is pretty much lava, so don't ever get to a point where you end up falling down due to exhaustion.
But
Okay.
I'll let you continue, but if you could do me a favor, Seely, say as Tails, the floor is lava.
The floor is lava.
There
Duly
you go.
noted.
Be careful, Sonic! Floor is lava!
It's like, oh, I've known this. I knew this day would come. I should ask, how are we going to deal with that pesky overcumbrance of needing to, stop spinning our dang tails for like 2 seconds in order to not fall?
So, calling true to one of the more obscure aspects of Tails' character, this game is littered with mint candy, which is Tails' favorite food. You can collect them to refuel your flight gauge for a certain amount, depending on how many pieces of candy there are.
And as you saw there, he collected an invincibility bell that, as it states, makes you invincible, and also makes it so that your flight is, unpunishable for a while.
Seely, what do you think of mint candies?
Hmm?
Mints. Hmm.
So you really are like Tails, because he likes them too.
Dun dun dun.
Now we just gotta figure out how the heck she's gonna grow 2 tails.
That's all another problem. So what is the story of our adventure?
So, in this wonderful world of Tails' weird cartoon-fed dreams, he is chasing after a random witch on a Ow!
How?
He's chasing after a witch on a minecart, aptly named Witch Cart.
Which cart? That's okay.
Witch Cart is aided by three flunkies, a bear, a wolf, and a rabbit. And they all have their own separate flying machines, which rivals that of Tails' own flying. And it's up to Tails, with this random ring he's carrying around with him, to take him to justice.
Okay. And go ahead, Hype.
I was about to say, what's kind of amusing is that, like, in Sonic Universe, the second Sonic-centric series that Archie made up until they gave up on Sonic, one of the later arcs actually, fleshed out these characters quite a bit. Like, for example, Wendy Witchcart, the villain of this. I have no idea what's wrong with my dogs. The main villain of this, they actually retcon to be the sister of a particular longtime Sonic enemy, Ixis Nagus.
Oh, from the
Which,
TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the TV show and the old comics, which, I have to admit, an odd decision, but I can sort of see the family resemblance.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're both old hags.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, Seely, the arc that really fleshed them out as characters, it's that same one that I made that video based on where you voiced Thunderbolt.
Huh.
oh, right, the Nagas twins and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was already weird enough to me to learn that Nagas had a twin brother and then there's a sister.
Well, no, here's the thing, as far as, in the post-reboot era, Ixis Nagus isn't really named Ixis Nagus, he's known as Walter Nagus, and he gets his power from a deity named Ixis.
Okay.
Interesting way to retcon things, but yeah. So
Careful.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, for those that haven't been paying attention, you want to know the name of the area we're currently in right now?
Sure.
Rail Canyon.
Sonic Hero.
My head's spinning. Okay, actually, what? Okay, is this that Rail Canyon? Canyon?
I don't think it's the exact same level, but the fact that they're both named the exact same name is kind of hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Man, this now makes me feel sad about Sonic Heroes. I mean, in this...
Ow.
Oh, you rammed it. In this Rail Canyon, I see trees and a lot of lush landscape. The Rail Canyon I was familiar with is an arid desert with, like, harsh rock terrain.
And so many Devil Dam grind rails.
Well, now you know what this luscious paradise is like when Eggman takes over.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of which, Eggman is nowhere to be found in this game, neither is Sonic. This is primarily a Tails adventure.
Yep.
Okay, you know what, I
Actually,
guess...
considering the fact that the next game that Tails would star in on his own is called Tails Adventures.
True. I mean, now seems like as good a chance as any to talk about, like, you know, do history on the actual console itself. James, why is this...
I'm sorry, Logan, can you repeat that? You got cut off.
No worries. Saying that, just to have a little background, I guess, about the console itself, like, you say that this is a commentary of the entire video game, but this video is only going to be like, oh, there he is, only going to be like 20 minutes or so long.
It's a short game.
Why is this game so short?
Because it is that short. There's only like 5 levels in the game, each spanning about maybe 3 or 5 minutes at a time, and they each end with a boss fight, starting off with this Buckle Wolf here.
Careful. And I was going to say, after we kill him, I'll wait after he's dead. So, is the combat literally just hold the ring out and hope for the best?
Yes,
Essentially.
that's literally all there is to it.
Oh. There.
And you carry him away to great justice.
To jail.
Off to the loony bin with you.
Okay, so yes, actually getting to the backstory I was trying to go for with the console itself is, you mentioned last time we tried this, spoilers, that the reason why this had to be so short is because the Game Gear was a battery chugger.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, it literally ran on 6 AA batteries, and it lasted only about 2 hours.
Jeez.
Huh.
Like that shit dried up battery power fast. Also, I love the fact that every once in a while you'll actually come across like a huge wall that Tails will have no choice but to bump into, and to counteract that, they literally just spawn like an invincibility power up like right before it.
Just make the level different.
Ow.
But yeah, so I guess then with that battery life in mind, that's why most Game Gear games were designed to be like capable
Super
of being
short.
beaten in such a short period of time.
Yeah, or if they're forced to be longer than normal, they usually do have a password system.
True. Oh.
But to be fair, that's even still like the whole, literal battery chugger aspect of it is pretty much the prime reason why the Game Gear literally stood no chance against the Game Boy.
No, the
Yeah.
Game Boy I think lasted like at least a want to say like it could last almost 5 hours.
Try 9 hours.
9. Jeez, I forgot.
Yeah, for a handheld, it was pretty durable.
I think it's because I never played it. I think it's because I never knew anybody who ever played a Game Boy for more than 4 hours. Maybe it's.
Oops.
Oh, I cannot imagine somebody playing a Game Boy for 9 hours long.
Unless it's like Pokemon or a
Tetris.
Dragon Quest.
Let's also remember that was back in the day when these sorts of consoles actually didn't have a backlight.
That is true.
Actually, that's another reason why the Game Gear was such a battery chugger. That one was actually daring enough to have a backlight.
I mean, then I can still say that's really like neat to have. Like, ask any '90s kid who had to, try to play the game in the car.
Yeah, I mean, say whatever you will about the Game Gear, it was very much ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And like really ahead of its time. I mean, having a backlight, having color, it's like no wonder the thing literally drained battery life so fast.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was practically a portable console.
And
I mean, honestly, I think what probably would have given the Game Gear a little more, more of a fighting chance against the Game Boy is, a better game library. Because aside from the occasional Sonic stuff, the Game Gear really didn't have much of anything.
Not really.
it was very hard to compete with. I mean, Nintendo seemed to have. I don't think I can't think of any console maker that really ever had any sort of competition with Nintendo as far as the the handheld department goes. I mean, the only thing that ever stood a chance of actually competing with it was mobile games. With because even at the time, nobody really took mobile games seriously. Because back then, you could have Solitaire, Tic-Tac-Toe, playing Snake.
Oh yeah, I used to have a Nokia phone that had Tetris on it.
Like, that was about it until, these more video high-def phones that people at the time thought, oh, people want a phone, not an entertainment system, but then turns out, why not both?
Does anyone remember the whole, the purple Motorola phone that everyone wanted back then?
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, there's the bear.
And now do you think it's utterly useless at this point?
Well, that's technology for you.
But yeah, now we're up against Behringer, and this guy gave me a little bit of shit on this recording. Not gonna mince words.
I remember that, like, in the comics...
How many hits can Tails take?
Tails is practically invincible. The only thing you have to worry about is, well, his flight meter.
Yeah.
Well, whenever you do get hit, you do get stunned for a brief moment. So hopefully, whenever you do get hit, you're not too close to the floor.
Do you have to press a button rapidly to recover?
Yes, you have to rapidly press the ring button in order to recover.
Your flight meter!
There you go. Yeah, so just keep the flight meter up and keep a good distance between the ground.
Oops.
Aww.
Great.
Tails, you have 2 feet.
But my feet hurt.
Yes, I have 2 feet, but my head is what stopped the fall, and I'm done after that. And there. Oh, ha!
Nice.
You're getting away that easy.
Coming with me.
So, is there any like fancy combo moves or fancy combat you got, or besides just chucking it at him?
There is one little thing that you can do with your ring that's honestly not well told by the game standards. Kind of like in standard, like, beat 'em ups and whatnot, whenever you approach, like, an enemy without so much fiddling with your ring, the ring will actually latch onto the enemy, and you can literally spin them and literally give them
The old suplex.
May as well be a suplex.
It's
The seismic plex. Anyway.
The seismic toss.
So, your thoughts. Difficult? Is this really that... Oh, nice. For some reason, when you're seeing the mint candies going flying at you so quickly, I almost thought they were like big like spike balls or something. And I was it's the wrapper. I thought they were like I almost thought like from Kirby they're like a giant Gordo spike or something. And oh gosh.
I never would have guessed the mint was that strong.
I should have known candy wasn't good for me.
Those little spring poles can throw me off.
A bit, yeah. There are some background elements in this that makes it look like you could easily kill Tails, but thankfully no, they're just background elements, like those long propeller blades.
I almost thought those were going to be a dangerous thing, right? And oh gosh, the fire.
Or the fire, yeah.
But no.
And random skeletons.
Yeah, I know, it's the skeletons that... What the hell are these skeletons? Okay. Part of me almost would have loved if in some... Like, with what James was saying, like, I almost would have loved if in some sad sense this adventure wasn't even really happening. It was all just Tails having a dream, and Tails was like, Sonic, I have my own adventure! Sure you
That's
did.
nice, buddy.
Tails, from now on, we're limiting your cartoon intake.
And no sweets before bed.
Aww. Not even the mint candies, Tails.
Actually, I have something to counteract that. It's like,
Okay, that's it, Tails. We need to cut you back on sweets. As soon as you cut back on chili dogs. Touche.
I'm never separating that love from my life, and don't you ever say anything but.
Coincidentally, I actually did get a chili dog from Wiener Schnitzel not that long ago.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh, I actually haven't gone there in forever, actually. Damn, I really... that actually does sound kind of okay. You know what it was? I saw the freaking... I was watching Binging with Babish, and it was the episode where he and another guy, I forgot the name of the YouTube... Maybe his username is the name of his cookbook, but it was Binging with Babish working with a user known as You Suck at Cooking, who made a cookbook called You Suck at Cooking: How to Suck a Little Less at Cooking.
Wow.
And
if it helps.
It does. And they worked together to create this like really, really good chili dog, as in like
Oh, hello.
the bunny.
Random little Miss Cartoon Rabbit here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, nice suplex.
So yeah, this is Karatina. If I'm not mistaken, in the Archie comics, they changed her design up a little bit to look a little more closer to that of Cream.
Yeah, to look more like how the rabbits do in the series. And what's funny is how, like, they also kind of, like, gave them, like, more fleshed out personalities. Like, for example, the wolf, he's pretty much complete nutso. The bear has, like, severe anger issues. And the rabbit here is kind of like an airhead ditz.
Fair.
I mean, in all fairness, like, they already sort of do have the looks of those personality traits, so I think that kind of helps.
Yeah, I mean, it's stereotypes, but I mean, or not archetypes, but it works. And oh, come on. Wish there was a health bar to see how much damage we were doing.
It would be nice, but you're just gonna have to take the ring's word for it.
There you are.
I'm gonna fall. No.
Nope.
Anyway.
Off to justice.
Carry me to your love shack, big boy.
No.
Wait, what?
So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, hot dog. It was the chili dog from Irishman, and like they made everything by hand. I'm talking like they even made the hot dog in the bun by hand.
Can I also just say real quick, who the hell thought it was a good idea to build a medieval castle in Casino Night Zone?
Eggman.
Is it supposed to be Casino Night Zone?
It looks like in the background.
The background is so obviously inspired by Casino Night.
Yeah, look at all the nice shiny lights and. Ooh. What was I gonna say? So,
Something about hot dogs.
Well, no, I got the hot dog thing down. Then we mentioned the comics, and oh yeah, I guess just remaining topical. I thought it was very interesting, especially given the interactions that Blaze has had with Cream. I thought it was really interesting how it. I don't know for a fact, but it almost looks like in Blaze's world, rabbits are like the servants, or like.
I remember koalas being her servants. In fact, also being somewhat topical, at the time of us recording this, they are starting a brand new arc of the IDW series,
right.
And in it,
Aww,
when Sonic saved
those
the
freaking
world from the
Gradius
metal...
things.
I was about to say, when Sonic saved the world from the metal virus, in the process, he gets teleported to Blaze's world, and Blaze is trying to help Sonic out because this totally isn't going to be a trend with the IDW comics. Apparently, when Sonic arrived in Blaze's world, he has amnesia.
Oh, great.
And what's funny is that, like, when she's trying to dog his memory of himself, she basically was reciting, like, something, I think it was something he said in Black Knight, where he's like, he had no master except for the wind and all that yada yada, and Sonic's like, oh, he sounds charming, I'd love to meet him.
You are him, you blue hedgehog.
Random thought that my friend had, I don't know what your guys' take on it would be, is my friend was almost theorizing. Nice. My friend was theorizing, what if he actually, for some weird reason, like, had his mind almost meld a little bit with Starling, given that he does mention warping at some point still.
Well, Starling wasn't anywhere near that whole crisis, so...
No, but he warped through. He did get tossed violently through a warp topaz
back.
portal. No worries.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I do know they're definitely gonna, like, explore more of what happened to him in the spin-off villain series.
I forgot they're making that.
I mean, after all, everything that happened, I'm pretty sure he really wants he's got no holds barred against either Eggman or Sonic's team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
No!
He may as well be that comics equivalent to Ixis Nagas.
He could be.
I would say more so, maybe like that universe's version
No!
of Snively, considering he started off as his lackey.
That's fair.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Because I almost forgot that technically Snively did betray Eggman at some point and join forces with that one chick.
Oh yeah, the I know she has a name, but it's like the Dark Queen.
Not to be confused with the Battletoads Dark Queen.
No.
But yeah, with that said, actually, oh yeah, I remember this particular portion of the level being a bit tricky, especially when you gotta go zoom and past a lot of it.
Well, I mean, this is our final level, and
Oh, careful.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, what? Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, that's not what I was actually going to refer to as the hardest part, but basically, at some point in this level, yeah, like you've noticed all those kinds of walls that go in and out, and like don't get caught in the middle of it. But basically, they have you go through two of those suckers, and the only way to get past them safely is to actually take advantage of one of the 10-ton weights you come across throughout the game. And it is awkward as it sounds.
There,
Like right there.
But you can't go too fast, otherwise.
You run right into the wall.
Welcome
There
back.
you
We're getting there.
You came just back just in time to see me run into a wall like an idiot.
You approached the game's one difficulty spike.
It happened. There it was. There was the
Thankfully,
difficult.
That's the worst of it, because now we got Witch Card.
Stop it! Mind your manners!
Oh, jeez.
Respect your elders!
By the way, I'd like to make one little observation here. Every other boss we fought was riding a flying machine. Witch Card rides the old-fashioned way.
Right,
Yeah.
and it definitely looks like the base of it was inspired by Eggman's copters.
Probably.
Also, I'm sorry. I love how violent the suplex looks, just because I don't know what the
Oh boy.
Oh, noise!
And sad part is I literally had no lives left at that point.
Ouch.
What happens if you continue?
So if you decide to continue your game, I do believe you have infinite continues. You do restart from the very beginning of the level, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
The heck with that.
Let's just restart where I left off with the boss fight.
Thank goodness. But yeah, I love how I love just how rough the suplex looks. Just especially because the fact that it's like,
Ow!
Oh,
jeez.
jeez.
Oh, stop it!
Is this how you treat all older women, Sonny?
I wonder if it does actually deal more damage than a normal ring toss.
I think it does just the same amount of damage.
Darn.
Well,
Well,
Whoa,
looks
did
just
you
nice.
more
just
funny.
vanish from reality for a second there?
Yeah, that's blinking. That's
That's called Game Gear flickering.
art
You
limitations.
whippersnapper!
But well. There.
I'll tell my brother on you!
And then poof, you fall.
Oh yeah, that did hit Tails right in the head. But with that said, 20 minutes into the video, and we're already done with it. That's the game.
And time.
Wow.
But no. I mean, it was what they were doing was cute, and I mean, they certainly like referenced this game a little bit more frequently than I thought they would have. I mean, at least as far as Sonic 06 is concerned.
Wait,
6.
Sonic 06.
Yeah, they mentioned with the dummy rings and stuff how apparently that was a thing that started in this game.
Huh, fancy that.
Yeah. Also, I love the little flip that Tails does every so often. Where he's like,
That's the kind of twirl he makes whenever he's about to fall to his death.
yeah, it looks like he's about to
Graphics
go.
were made by Mountain Emerald.
Tails down, tails down. That said, ladies and gentlemen, as far as Tails Skypatrol is concerned, I mean, I do think it's a decent enough time killer. I wouldn't outright say it's one of those kinds of games where it's like I'd go back to this every year or so. It's one of those things I remember every once in a while. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this game existed. Maybe I'll play it for old time's sake. And yeah, thankfully it is a game you can easily beat in 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
Although, I mean, now that I stop and think about it, I did have to cut out a lot of deaths, so in reality, it took me about a half hour to beat this game. But again, if you know what you're doing, you can easily beat it in 20 minutes.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, it's amazing to me that there's actually a game you can beat in quicker time than either Super Mario Land or Kirby's Dream Land.
What
Right.
about Sonic Blast? I heard that it was one of the Sonic Game Gear games. I think you can technically beat in like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, there's this. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Sonic Blast was another one you could beat in that time frame. Again, the Game Gear games in general weren't meant to be played for long stretches of time. I mean, they really couldn't be, considering the fact you only had 2 hours worth of battery life.
Yeah.
Just a cursed fate for Sega's foray into the portable market. But at least they learned. At least they learn better now. Well, they're actually putting some of their own titles onto other people's portables. Not the least
Before
of which is Sonic going to the Olympic Games.
Yep.
bef-
Go ahead.
I was about to say, before we end off, because I do know that, because one of the reasons we had Celie on board with this is because she's been kind of getting, like, slightly more enamored with Sonic ever since we've been having her involved in stuff like...
Emphasis on slightly.
I was just like, it's mainly through, like, collabs with me and other stuff. We should probably ask, like, what did you think of, like, what you saw, or just the premise of, like, Tails getting his own spin-off?
You know, at first when I saw this, I thought it was some type of bootleg. But when I found out it wasn't, I'm all, huh, okay.
I mean, hey, as far as bootlegs are concerned, this is definitely one of the more higher profile I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, this has, like freaking Chip and Dale 3 has nothing on this shit. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for our little commentary on Tales of Sky Patrol. I mean, at some point or another, I could try something with Tales Adventures, but that's a game I would probably need to practice on real hard, because that's a Metroidvania, and, well, I mean, they're not known for being particularly long, but they are known for being particularly complex. So, we'll have to see how that goes in the far future. But,
Yeah.
all that said, I'm James May Extreme.
Lucky Jack 20.
Hylian Princess Lita.
That's nice, Tails.
I mean, I'm Tails. What are you talking about? I'm not this Hylian Princess Lita.
Till next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
What about my spin-off?